Hey, Tom No from Atomic Enrollment. So today I'm gonna walk you through what Meta calls their Performance 5, and it's basically their 5 best practices to leverage their machine learning and AI in their ad platform properly to generate the best results on your Meta ads. So if you're currently running Meta ads, or if you're thinking about running Meta ads, which we highly recommend, if you're gonna use any platform to run any online ads, best be Meta ads. So I'm gonna walk you through in depth of how to leverage these 5 things properly for you to get the max amount of results. We manage anywhere from $500,000 to $5 million in ad budget, most of that's in Meta, a month, and we aim to generate at least about a 10x return on this capital. So a 10x ROAS, meaning for every dollar we put into Meta helps us generate $10 in revenue. So for example, you see here, we spent $800 in ads for this client in Meta last week to generate sales calls, and we cash collected $10,000 in the same week from those leads. You put in $1 and you get at least $10 back or more, ideally a lot more in revenue. So around 2020, Meta released their Power 5. It was their first time releasing best practices on how to leverage their machine learning properly in the ad platform. These are still relevant today, but they added and updated this with its Performance 5 this year in 2023. So you want to pay attention to this. If your last knowledge base of running Facebook ads is prior to 2020, such as using primarily pixels or lookalikes or interest targeting and personalizing ads manually, you want to throw that out of your head right now, immediately. So first, Meta actually released a pretty cool PDF on this recently, I believe last night or 2 days ago, because I didn't see this week. They released a nice PDF for you to download, take it with you, learn from it. So these are the 5 best practices Meta itself says: account simplification, automation, creative diversification, data quality, and results validation. Let's break down what that exactly means. First, account simplification. So that simply means you simplify your ad sets. You want to have the least amount of ad sets as possible. So this is a visual that Meta created. It's pretty good. Typically what people might do is they'll have one campaign and they'll put in their audience, which is the ad set, and a variety of separate ads, and they'll create multiple campaigns with all different ad sets. In this case, it's not the best for 2 reasons. Because you might be competing against each other in your audiences, and you're not optimizing towards what's best for the machine learning, which means you're not going to get out of the learning phase. The objective you're optimizing for, you want to create at least 50 of those as fast as possible. If you create a complicated campaign setup, you're going to get there in the slowest amount of time. So what you want to do is you want to create one campaign, use campaign budget optimization, and then you want the least amount of ad sets in this campaign as possible. Ideally, you just want to stack all your interest targeting in one ad set instead of creating, let's say you want to test 3 to 5 different audiences. You're not creating 3 to 5 different ad sets. You're creating max 2. Bunch together the most relevant audiences separately into 2 ad sets, and instead of having 5 different ad sets. So stack your interest. Long story short, what this means is you want to create the least amount of ad sets as possible for the machine learning to work well, for you to get 50 conversions in the shortest amount of time to exit the learning phase, so the machine learning fully knows what type of people you want to go after. Next, it's automation. What does that mean? There's a couple different components to automation. One, that's budget automation. So let's go into a real campaign that we're working on. You want to use campaign budget optimization. So as you can see here in this campaign that we're about to launch, we have 4 different audiences we want to test, and then we let the machine learning figure out which audience is the best with campaign budget optimizations. That means it's going to allocate budget accordingly to the ad set that performs the best. Next, you want to use dynamic creative. So in one ad, you're loading multiple different creatives. You're loading multiple different videos, multiple different campaigns, and multiple different headlines. Next is audience automation. Most of the time, Meta automatically selects this for you, but you want to use Advantage plus audience. So Meta's going to find you by crawling your creatives. We talked about this in a separate video of how Meta finds you the right people you want to get in front of. It crawls your creatives, and it's going to get in front of the right target audience you want to get in front of. Last but not least, you want to use placements automation. It picks which ad should be placed on which platform at which time. So keep in mind, Meta owns a variety of outlets such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and within those platforms, there's different formats like Reels, Shorts, Explore page, Right column. So you let Meta decide, you pick the creative and you show it to the best platform at the best time. Now, I covered this in the previous video, but The reason why Meta wants you to automate things as much as possible in these 4 things we talked about is because they collect data differently now than they used to. They listen in on your mic and your camera and crawl your ad creatives to find out who's your target audience you want to get in front of. So that data is much more granular now. There's no best way for Meta to show you the options of the potential audiences. Instead of them presenting you with a variety of options of placements and formats you want to be on, different audiences you want to be in front of, Meta just decides that for you because they're saying, you know what? Instead of you telling me, I'm just going to figure it out myself. It's going to be way better and easier. So, all right, 3, it's creative differentiation. What does that mean? It's a fancy name for saying make ad creatives, videos, and images specifically optimized for Reels. That's how most of the world consumes information these days, in short form vertical videos. So they're saying, hey, create your creatives in that format, which is 9:16 dimensions. They say build for Reels. They just say it straight up. And most users are on their phone, so it's a 9:16 format. Or worst case, you can do 4:5, but try to stay away from landscape and square videos and images. All right, 4, data quality. That's a fancy name for saying use Conversions API. Let me give you the backstory of how their ad algorithm works. So the machine learning for the ads algorithm is essentially a big prediction machine. It predicts with statistical modeling which people are most likely to buy from you right now. And for these predictions, for their statistical modeling predictions to work best, Meta needs to be fed data back into their system for us as advertisers to tell them, hey, your ads are working great or not working well. And you want to tell them that data in real time. So if someone sees your ad, they became a customer or a highly qualified lead, you want to let Meta know, hey, this ad, this audience at this time, you got me a great customer. Find me more people like this. So prior to 2021, before Apple's iOS 14.5 update, you used to feed the data back into Meta ads with the Pixel. So when someone comes on your website and buys something or becomes a highly qualified lead, the browser used to send that information back into the Meta Ads platform. Now, with the iOS 14.5 update, Safari and Chrome and most browsers stopped sending data back into third parties outside of the browser. That became a problem for Meta and advertisers, right? So Mark Zuckerberg isn't just gonna sit there and suck on his thumbs, he's gonna figure out a solution. So the solution Meta created was called the Conversions API. This illustration right here is a pretty good illustration. Basically what the Conversion API is, it's a bridge between your CRM, the place where you have the source of truth, and Meta. That way, when a lead comes in, let's say someone books a call through an ad, someone buys something through an ad, purchases, checks out, whatever you're optimizing for comes in and gets registered in your source of truth, whether that's in your Shopify backend, your CRM system, could be even a spreadsheet, right? Conversion API sends that data back into Meta ads saying, hey, a call came in, a purchase came in from this ad, and Conversion API pushes that data back into Meta ads. So as you can see here, this is you, this is Meta ads, this is your server, this is Conversion API, and it sends that data back into Meta. So it's technically a bridge between your server and Meta ads. Setting up the Conversion API is not that hard. It integrates pretty well directly with common platforms such as Shopify, WooCommerce, Google Tag Manager. Worst case, you can set it up using Zapier. All right, so last but not least, they call it results validation. What they're trying to say is A/B tests. Keep testing. You always want to be testing. Part where people drop the ball with an A/B test is they make their A/B tests way too complicated. You want to keep A/B tests pretty simple, especially at the start where you're optimizing, you're testing one variable at a time, especially on lower budgets. So here again, they made a little scorecard, which is cute. This is a good recap: account simplification, reduce the number of ad sets. You want to use automation, all the automations they provide. You want to use mobile optimized creative specifically for Reels. You want to use Conversions API, and you want to continually be testing one variable at a time. So there you have it. Please make sure to use this if you're running Meta ads, especially at the higher levels of ad spend. I've seen clients who are spending $100,000 a month in ad spend and they're getting a decent return, but they had no idea these type of best practices existed. Right? So email us if you have any questions. We also offer 5 companies a week free audits on their ad account, where we jump on a call and make top 3 recommendations to improve your ROI. If you like that, just reach out to us and we'll take a look. There you have it. All right, take care. Bye.